So Raul, we are back for a little bit of a different format today. Actually, we are talking about some developing news that we thought might be awesome to share with everyone here. What is it? What does it kind of run into here, Raul?
It's the Deal saga. We actually talked about this a couple of weeks ago,
Yep.
and it's still going very strong. So corporate espionage, crazy shit was happening at Deal and Rippling, and if you want to listen to the details there, that's the Revenue Brothers episode that we did on that
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago. Inbound, prison bound thing. Inbound, outbound, prison bound. But just give us the lowdown.
So what happened is that a couple of weeks ago, the Rippling CEO announced on LinkedIn and Twitter that, or X, that they are suing Deal. And they're suing them for corporate espionage. Now, it turns out, Raul and I did some research. What was the number alone in Germany? How much money is lost to corporate espionage? What did you find?
Apparently, over 50 billion euros a year are lost in the German economy to corporate espionage.
Yeah.
Most likely, I guess, that's my interpretation, and yours as well, from outside the country.
Yeah. So there might be a big country with a C in front that kind of is maybe responsible, but it doesn't matter. So just to say, like, it's not completely uncommon, right? But basically rare between two companies like that. And the lawsuit, basically kind of the allegations there, it's that Deal had an employee in Rippling, kind of a sales rep in Rippling. And that sales rep in Rippling was basically giving information back to Deal. Now, think about situations, for example, there is a competitive scenario where Rippling against Deal in the deal. Sounds funny. But basically, he was then telling the Deal team what the specific offer was, so they could, just slide in under or kind of outbid him in a different way. Also, when there was a conversation in Rippling of trying to get a Deal customer. So basically, Deal didn't know that this was happening, and he basically kind of gave the information to the Deal team so they could take proactive action, try and defend and, offer a better deal and so forth, right? So this is what happened, and this apparently has happened over a fairly long amount of time. The Rippling guys figured it out, some honeypot trap, and, they uncovered this guy, and he then locked himself in the toilet for 6 hours as, the Rippling team wants to get to him. And this is a little bit, this is where the last story stopped. And, now what came out is really what we're going to talk about a little bit more today. So, Raul, why is it that we know a little bit more now about this whole thing?
So the guy who locked himself in the toilet, who kind of was the mole, by the way, what did he end up doing in the toilet? And he chopped his phone into half with an axe, apparently, that he found in that toilet. Maybe like a fire extinguishing thing.
No, the deodorant. Axe the deodorant. That's what it is. Like, he literally took like the aluminum can of a deodorant and smashed it with that, apparently.
Yeah. Okay, so then I got that wrong. I thought it was an actual axe. So that's how you got that wrong.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the one confusing this stuff, but anyway, continue.
Okay, that's an interesting one, though. He ended up just coming clean. So he ended up talking to the Rippling guys about everything that happened, and is actually kind of trying to remedy what he did.
Yeah.
But the details that came out are just, in my opinion, my idea of like comedy, to be honest, but also quite shocking, like I would say. So he really spilled the beans on how it came to be that thing happened, and apparently he was paid a fairly nice amount of money, not like life changing, of 6,000 euros a month by the Deal team to do all this.
So the thing is, 6K a month, great as a side hustle, great. Mm-hmm. Now that this whole thing collapsed, doesn't really seem so great anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, it was kind of a cool thing while it was going on, but after this case, maybe not the best thing anymore, because like everyone knows his name now, and like Keith O'Brien apparently is his name. Probably like 20,000 people of that in Ireland right now that are called this. But anyway, will this guy get another job? Like, I'm not sure this is gonna work out, right? Because this was criminal stuff, and maybe he doesn't get charged because he's cooperating and all that stuff. But this was criminal, right? And especially in the software industry, so I'm not sure about it. But the reason why we kind of now a reason to believe that there's probably more to the whole thing. So that it's not just some, actually it wasn't like this. So apparently Deel now offered him and his family to relocate to Dubai. Why Dubai? No extradition, right? Kind of, they don't cooperate with the European Union. They don't cooperate with the US on criminal cases like this. So that's kind of a place to be, apparently. He was also kind of working with the Deel lawyers to kind of, actually, it turns out the Deel lawyers told him to destroy the phone and flush it down the toilet. They apparently told him all kinds of other things too. But like, just imagine being this Deel lawyer on the other side and kind of giving this kind of advice to some kind of a quasi. I mean, it's just so absurd, right? And he's basically kind of unpacking and really much cooperating now with these guys, which kind of is leading to the second chapter of this, which is, I think when you and I discussed this previously, we were kind of going a little bit back and forth on like, hey, is this some rogue employee? Like, is it like a VP of sales that, does that thing? And, is it maybe not the whole, company implicated? It turns out, no, this was a full on C-level job, from like start to finish. The CEO is implicated. The CFO is implicated. The COO is implicated. Even the top lawyer is implicated. And we know all of that stuff because Keith here has been unpacking a lot. And let's give you some facts, like things we know. And you can, this is not a done case. This is still an allegation. But here are some of the facts that maybe be interesting for people. So number one, CEO, lawyer, and CFO, where are they right now, Raul?
In the sunny city of Dubai.
Yeah.
Obviously.
What a coincidence. What a coincidence. Yeah. And apparently, Rippling tried to serve them in Europe. Didn't work out. Now they're in Dubai. They can't serve them. They're kind of trying to serve them now apparently through email or something like that. Great reporting being done on this topic by, the Go Nimbly CEO, by the way. So this is already not a good sign. What is maybe also interesting to know, the CFO is actually the CEO's dad. Not that this is a thing, but it's just the plot thickens. I think in Stuttgart area you would say like has Schmeckle or something like this in Germany, Schmeckle. Right? Or where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Kind of. There's like, these things probably happen because there was an immense trust relationship in the C-level team. And if you're the CFO, who I would have thought in this meeting where all of them went, yeah, let's do this, the CFO would be like, no, I think this is a stupid idea. But now that the CFO is the CEO's dad, it's like, okay, yeah, no, I can totally see this. So it goes further. So how do you pay this employee? Like this, this mole. How do you do it, right? How do you get money to him? Because he can't be on your payroll. That's too obvious. So what they did, and again, this is so clear. This was a, C-level conversation. What they did is that the payments came from the COO's wife.
They say you can't make that stuff up, but it was actually made up and even done in this movie called Wolf of Wall Street, right? Yeah. Or name 10 other movies that are like that. But people kind of take that as a script and then go do it.
No, absolutely. Isn't this absolutely insane? I mean, it's like, so I don't. And you know what? Is this a new GTM motion? Yeah, maybe just don't get caught.
Prison bound.
Still, that's crazy. And apparently it's not prison bound. I think we got that part wrong. It's Dubai bound, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Interesting side fact, the head of comms resigned. Deel doesn't want to deal with any of that shit. And then the last thing, which is kind of probably the spicy piece here. I mean, they're like 300 million ARR and growing fast. They were actually set to go public in 2026.
Imagine you're the head of comms of Deel, and imagine you don't have actually anything to do with that. So you're learning about this as you go, just like everyone else is, just like the public is. And so far, maybe you've been there a year or two, like all you had to do was press releases about like, oh, we took this funding and we closed this deal and it was all nice and everything. And maybe you're like 3 years out of university and then this comes along and you're like, I did not sign up for this shit. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I will not deal with this. And I also don't know how to deal with it. So I imagine that's how it is. You're like, no. That's not what I signed up for.
But the other thing is like, I mean, I can't imagine them still going public. Like, isn't this thing done? I mean, this to me is, is it worse or is it on the same level as this whole WeWork implosion? Like, the WeWork guys, they weren't criminal. What they were doing was stupid and reckless, but it wasn't criminal, right? And there are lots of other people that did stupid, reckless things and were super, successful with that. And WeWork, in many, many ways of measurement, was super successful. But this deal stuff now, where literally the whole C-level team is implicated. This is a serious criminal allegation there against all of them. Like, I'm not sure if someone goes to prison for this, by the way, but this is certainly part of this. Could totally happen, by the way. I think you can, those public dreams. I think you can scrap that. That's over. That's done and dusted now.
I mean, I don't know about that, because at the end of the day, there's still a company. There's some people who did something bad, and I hope that whatever justice will be served wherever they are, Dubai or San Francisco or wherever. But there's still a company, and that company has a product. And if you replace those people with other people or they step down, it could still be a good company, right? We also have to find out like how deep this really goes. Like, is the whole company being built on lies and basically nothing's true there? So once you kind of answer these questions and you rebuild trust that is an actual company, someone might buy it.
I'm just saying, kind of, you 3 top leaders, CEO, CFO, COO, in the S1 filing are currently under criminal investigation. I don't think people are going to be like, let's buy that stock,
Yeah.
But anyway, we want to keep it super short, super sweet. Tell us what you think about it. That's Deal Saga update version 2. And if you like this, give us a shout out, give us a subscribe, send it to some folks. Thanks a bunch, Raul, and thanks everyone else for listening. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.